What's up, YouTube? Vash 16XL Live. Vash 16XL Live. Coming at y'all today. I mean, you can talk. You ain't got to be silent. With another interview. I got my glasses on this time. This time we interviewing
Clarence Paul. How y'all doing?
Step into the light. Let me get you over here in the chair so you don't look like you're in the dark side. Over there in the chair, man. Over there in the chair. Yeah. Alright. Alright. So what are your fondest memories of games? What game is your fondest memory?
My fondest memory of video games was back in the 90s when I first started. Super Mario Brothers 3, Sonic the Hedgehog. Those were my fondest memories.
90s. Unlike these basement invaders. Okay, what really made it so fun?
First of all, it was when you get that fresh experience, it's always like your first, kind of like your first love, kind of.
See,
it's like
you
the
gotta
first.
slow down with the love, because some people don't know what that feels like. I ain't talking about me, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
for our viewers out there.
True. Some gamers don't know love like it, but yeah, it's.
As long as you're not fapping it, no homo, you're cool, but you know.
But yeah, it was awesome. I liked Mario at first, actually. Mario, he had a cool little power-ups, platform jumping, it was challenging. But then when I ran across Sonic, that was it. That was it for Mario for me. I still played Mario, but I cleared Sonic out. Got all the Super Emeralds, Chaos Emeralds.
That damn Hypersonic?
Yeah, with each character.
Yep.
Tails and Knuckles.
Tails could only go Super. Knuckles and Sonic could go Hyper.
Yeah, that was awesome. Had the Sonic games back then had a lot of good tracks. I noticed that back in those days, Sega had a lot of good tracks. And even though it was only 16-bit, them tracks was nice.
What classic series would you like to see brought back into modern times?
Streets of Rage.
Which they kind of did a computer remake of.
I would kind of like to see Vector Man.
I don't know about that guy.
Strider Hero.
Yep.
Captain Commando. The list goes on and on.
Okay.
Proper Golden Axe. Not that crap that Sega Europe made a couple of years ago. That was garbage. Beast Rider? Nah.
What about Altered Beast?
Altered Beast, they actually made a PS2 version of that, but it wasn't
Probably sucked
popular.
ass.
It wasn't popular and it wasn't very good neither.
Hmm.
I don't think it came out in the States, really.
Well, see, that's why. When it comes to video games nowadays, what do they really do great in?
They do great games these days, especially with the next gen systems. They do great in making the game and the fight scenes a cinematic experience. Like, take for example the old Street Fighter. How the 2D frames do when they do the super combos. It was just, you just see them do it. But on Street Fighter 4, they have, like, when you see them do their hyper combo, super combo, the camera angle changes to make things look more dynamic and more cinematic.
Okay. What's missing from games nowadays?
What's missing from games nowadays? Content. I noticed during the PlayStation 2 era and the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, that like a lot of games had a lot of content. Take for example Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 3.
Yep.
And how many characters it had back then. And it had like almost every Dragon Ball Z character you could think of had characters from Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, the movies, both Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z movies.
Yep.
And now they got the Dragon Ball Z these days. They don't even go past
They don't go past
Dragon Ball Z.
Yep. So
Marvel's Capcom 3 versus Marvel's Capcom 2 content way rubbed down.
So when it comes to genres of games, what are your favorites?
Action. Action RPGs. Fighting. Adventure. Puzzles every here and there. Every here and again, not often though.
Okay.
But my most favorite is fighting. Because when you want to just, when you don't really want to sit around and, go through a whole long mission stage that'll last you for like half an hour or more, you can just pop in the fighting game, play for a couple of minutes and then go on your way.
Yep.
Yeah. Good to play with friends too.
You can call Chantel. You call Chantel. Okay. What was I finna say? What's your least favorite genre of games?
I would have to say first-person shooters.
Da-na-na-na.
They're not. They begin to recently though. They began to build up on originality. But back in early days of next gen and last gen, they lacked originality. They was all the same format. Didn't have very originality, especially the
Nigga with a gun can chop you with
especially with
his hand.
the mini Call of Duties that they had.
Medal of Honors.
Medal of Honors. It was kind of beginning to be like Madden, spitting out new. Same thing with
we added a new gun.
I'll take the story. I only played one Call of Duty.
Let's see. If it was a genre of game you had to help make, what would it be?
I had to help make a genre.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would do a real-time action RPG.
Cool. Oh yeah, I have a story for a survival horror game.
But yeah,
Gonna go to Panera Bread?
Yeah.
I'll probably be down there.
I would love to make a real-time action RPG.
So don't you run away from me, Ricky Bobby. You can run Panera Bread.
Go over there. I'm gonna go to the TV.
Oh, okay. I'll be over there.
Because real-time action RPG, you can make story, character personalities, relationship between the characters.
Turn-based?
No,
Take it old school?
no turn-based. No turn-based. You don't get a good feel of the action in turn-based.
It's because it's not about the action. It's all about the story.
Yeah. Action. I want
The
action.
days of Final Fantasy 7, 8.
So
They need to turn Final Fantasy act like
7 and 8. That
turn that real time. They need to make that shit real time. Like they
as
do.
long as they don't make Dirge of Cerberus, because that shit sucked.
Yeah, that shit wasn't.
Bah,
That
bah,
wasn't-
bah, bah, bah,
They
bah.
could have did that better. But yeah, like
Come on, it was
that
Vincent.
new one. What's that new one called? Final Fantasy 13 Versus.
Versus 13, yep.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks good. I didn't like 13. Sorry.
Versus 13 is something different though. I don't think it's even the same characters. Might be the same universe though. Not sure. But we
Yep.
will see when it's released.
What else was I about to say? You played Mega Man X Command Mission, right?
I didn't get around playing that yet. I played all the other
That shit
games,
was
though.
great for a turn-based RPG. Anytime you can break an enemy down to a certain health and their health bar crack and it says Final Strike and you press the button and all your characters can run over there and jump the shit out of them, that was fantastic.
I have to pick it up one day then.
That
It's not on
game-
PC, is it?
PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. It was a fantastic game in my eyes. And it was great. I mean, the story was great. The gameplay was great because it was turn-based RPG. And the weapon system was great. It had something called Force Metal where you add on, you really have to play it though. It's great.
But back to what I was saying about first-person shooters, the most original first-person shooter I've played so far is Metroid Prime series and Mirror's Edge. Real original. They had melee combos in the first-person shooting game. It was like
It wasn't a
combos.
first-person shooter. It's just the first person.
Yeah, it's a first-person game more so like a first-person platform.
You got a gun like here and there.
Here and there, yeah.
But you running around and shit.
It's parkour, yeah.
Free runners and shit. Okay. If it was one you know you wouldn't want to make, what would it be? One genre game you know you wouldn't want to help make. Uh-oh. It's a tough one.
Probably puzzle games. Probably puzzle games like Tetris and columns and stuff like that.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Why? Because you run out of ideas?
No, I'm just not interested.
Think about what they're doing with puzzle games. The pinnacle of puzzle games is Portal.
Portal. That's true. It is a puzzle game.
Yeah, that's an original first person.
Yeah.
Okay. What genre of games would you know might be challenging, but you would like to be, but you are interested in making?
That would be challenging.
Yep.
What would be challenging? I'd be interested in making.
I know
I
survival
think
horror
it'd
would
probably
be fantastic.
Probably exactly like a horror game. Because with a horror game, you gotta reach into people's emotions and shit, make them scared.
You should watch a lot of horror movies and see what they didn't do in a survival horror game. Because I know one. I'm just not going to say it on this camera. But, hey, that shit's going to be off the chain. I got it. I think, I don't know what I'm going to name it. I haven't came up with a title, but I know the story and shit. So, yeah. If you had to pick a game industry job, what would it be? And why?
A game industry job,
Yep.
probably character development, character design.
Okay.
That's what I do best. I doodle characters the best.
Okay.
Better than I can doodle stages like maps and
Environments and shit.
and yeah,
Environments are not my strongest point, but I can do them.
yeah, I can do them, but they're not my strongest point. I do objects and characters best, monsters, whatever.
Yep. When it comes to the online scene, what do you think of it?
I like the online scene. I think the online scene is good for people who don't like have a lot of friends or friends are far
I want
away,
to play my game.
or friends who are like real far away. You know, it's good for them. And you know, I like the online scene. Like I play
What do you
Street
think of the
Fighter
trolls?
4. Huh?
What do you think of the trolls online?
Oh, those trolls. I don't dig the trolls. I don't like the trolls at all.
They living under bridges
I
and basements.
don't like trolls on anything though, but as long as there's internet, there will be trolls. There ain't real much you can do about it. Really.
Yeah. If you have to make a console, what would you want your console to consist of?
Multimedia, online play, web browsing. Online where you can contact all your friends and stuff. Even friends that like webcam chat, not just with people who are on PlayStation, but people who are on Yahoo and Skype and Uvu.
All right.
Downloadable gaming. Yeah.
So I don't mess it up.
Okay.
Some sensor bar stuff like Wii or Connect type stuff.
Yeah.
Like if I was to do that, I would focus unlike the Move and the Connect, I would focus on making games that are compatible with those.
Yep.
A lot of games that are compatible with those, I would support that a lot.
Okay. Last minute we on to one good question. What are game designers missing nowadays in terms of like just franchises and stuff?
Originality and imagination. A lot of games revamp things that have already been used over and over again. Like the whole Gauntlet scene. Where they got Gauntlet X-Men, they got Gauntlet style Justice League. They got a lot of Gauntlet style games. It's kind of getting a little old.
Yeah.
But that's just an example. Like I said with the first person shooters, a lot of those are unoriginal. There's a few original ones. Mostly the sci-fi ones tend to add some originality in it.
Yep. This has been part 1. Expect part 2 Friday. This has been Vash 16XLI, and
Ex Black Wolf.
see ya
Feelings.
Friday. Later.